Alright, the Social Security thing, let me just a couple things. First of all, I consider myself a progressive libertarian. I'm entirely focused on liberty, but I had a realization. Hey, cat. No. Don't hassle the other cat. Young cat, stop hassling the older cat. She doesn't want to play. No, she doesn't. I came to a realization in my 20s that the state of nature there wasn't liberty. Liberty is I could go to New York just by deciding to. That's liberty. There's no liberty in the state of nature. There's no freedom. Everybody's on edge. You can see how the animals are all on edge, like they're gonna get attacked. Not always. Actually, I shouldn't say that. All you city folk don't understand how much time they just relax and aren't on edge. But anyway, be that as it may, it's not liberty as humans understand it. Because nobody will stop you from chopping down a tree. That's liberty. You still don't have an axe. You're still not chopping no trees down, bro. You need technology and social constructions, and that's why the one thing that made me realize this is if nature was more liberty, then there'd be liberty in small towns and independent thinking. But it's when you move to the city, there's all the different. The Cosmopolita is where all the most unique human expressions are. Why is that? Well, you get the most extreme individuality in a city with billions of people, and everybody seems different. Then you go to a small town with just a few thousand, and people seem more the same. But they're not really. Of course, everybody is unique. But liberty. How do you measure it, and how do you create it? And Das Spook, what the hell, man? Okay, the one thing that bugged me in there is you're saying, I'm for hierarchy? I speak against hierarchy in all ways, in all thinking and command and control structures. I am for distributed systems. So I don't know where you get that, but maybe it's from, you went off on a litany of things about the government. Yeah, I'm not fond of the central bank. I don't like fiat currency, and none of that convinces me that we should not help old people to survive. I'm not interested in waiting until we solve all of those problems before we help old people survive. Right? And it's not a Ponzi scheme, technically, or at all. Those are different. First of all, in Ponzi schemes, there's nothing for sale. You're just selling the right to be in a system, selling a thing that eventually, when there's nobody left to buy it, you run out. There's not going to be nobody left to be old and need Social Security. There's going to be nobody left to be young and still working. Even without Social Security, the economy is based on an assumption that there's people young enough to still work, right? Does that make genetics a Ponzi scheme? No. And if it collapses, then we won't have it anymore. Is that an argument to just not do it now when it hasn't collapsed? Because so far the problem is the government's the thing in the fucking hole that is collapsing in like a black hole of funds to kill people around the world, and you're going to tell me the problem is this program that's always run a surplus. Morning. The problem is a product that's always run a surplus. That's the problem. It's not us throwing billions and trillions down the hole. Oh no, you also agree with that? Well, okay, I'm not going to wait to solve the world's problems in every detail before I say, hey, you know what about right now we don't let the old people starve and rot in the street. How about that? And where you get a belief in hierarchy from that? No. There's no belief in hierarchy from that. The thing is, social infrastructure is a real thing. You could get confused about government, whether we're being governed, whether it's a governor like a regulator in an electrical system, blah, blah, blah. And I love to do all that, don't I? But I want to not watch people starve and die in the meanwhile. Is that okay as well? Could we not have to solve every problem before we're allowed to solve one problem? Would that be okay? It's disgusting, because Social Security isn't even enough. It's paltry. It's sad. And people actually want to discuss, well, maybe nothing would be better. They should have saved more. Those Enron employees with, $1 million in retirement should have put it somewhere else besides the place they worked for 40 years. They just weren't very smart. Trusted those people. I mean, what the fuck? We know in investment there's winners and losers. This is not an investment like that. It's not a Ponzi scheme at all, because everybody is required to be in it. It's a social insurance scheme. And do they work? They work better than doing nothing. Well, we should do something else. Okay, do that, and then we'll replace it with something better. I don't have that much trust in government. I also don't have much trust in look, the world looks fucking, you guys all look nuts. You can't see what's going on in your own experiences. You have so many troubles understanding the simplest things. And I'm supposed to say, what we'll do is get rid of the government. I'm sure you guys will just fucking work fine together. I don't think so. Am I the only one? I'm the only one, huh? I'm the only one that thinks that if the government just disappeared in the morning, it'd be fucking chaos. Because you guys don't look into how things actually work, okay? Fucking government. Yeah, who's going to be going and helping people from these tornadoes? Government fucked up, though. Well, we sit on our fucking hands. And Dasbook, you offended me a little bit with that hierarchical thing and having a job in Hawaii. Well, you don't actually know my situation. And, so, I mean, I think I am leaving Hawaii. I'm fed up. I'm a little fed up of Hawaii. And, I think I understand what liberty, where it comes from, what it really is about. And, it's something that requires that we take care of each other. That's the only way to have liberty. If we're attacking each other all the time, there's no room for liberty. If we're competing for the very right to eat or have a place to sleep for the night. You ever think about this, homeless people out there? Tell me, am I wrong? You don't have a right to go to sleep. A homeless person does not have a right to sleep. They can be woken up and will be, if they're found, anywhere. That's not right. It's not right. And in the state of the nature, it's the same thing. People, whatever happens, happens. You can't sleep through the night. You can't rest assured in any way. And if you can't, then there's nothing to build liberty atop of. Liberty is a social concept. You can't have this liberty, and that's why the anti-taxitarian, big L libertarians, they're confused. They're always like, well, it's my money, why can't I keep it? The fucking thing has the government, and then people want to say, it's not a treasury, no, it's a Federal Reserve. Fine. Yes, I know. Point is, it's a product of the government. How you can think that you were God-given when you were born naked into this world, one thing that comes right away is the right to hold on to pieces of paper written by a particular government. That's fundamental. That's property. You are your own property, and everything flows from that metaphor. It's a construction. How could that possibly be? Money itself is a social construction. When you go, I have a right to keep my money, you're basically saying, I'm a part of society. And then you're going to go, but eventually our way of giving a little pittance of money to elderly people so they don't die in the street and not have health care is going to collapse. Thus, we should not have that system.